The jungle moon of Oth-Rel, 5 pulsed with an eerie glow. Bioluminescent vines clung to twisted trees, casting an unnatural blue haze through the dense underbrush. The air was thick, damp with the scent of rotting vegetation and the metallic tang of blood. Sergeant Alex Mercer crouched low, scanning the ruined battlefield. His rifle, battered but functional, rested in his grip. The remnants of a recent skirmish lay scattered, a burned-out transport, twisted alien bodies, and the stench of charred flesh. No movement. No signs of life. He exhaled, adjusting the strap of his nearly empty pack. His squad was gone, ambushed 2 nights ago by a Zelvar kill team. He'd survived by sheer luck, slipping into the jungle as the battle raged. Now, low on supplies, he needed food, water, and a plan. A faint noise, ragged breathing. Alex froze, eyes locking onto a figure half buried beneath collapsed foliage. Not human. Tall, slender but muscular, covered in dark, chitinous armor. A Zelvar warrior. Female, judging by the sleeker plating along her limbs. She was alive. Barely. Her left arm was mangled, dark blood pooling beneath her. Her right hand clutched a shattered plasma blade, its edge flickering weakly. Her chest heaved, slow and uneven. She opened her eyes. Slitted, gold, burning with defiance. Alex raised his rifle. She didn't flinch. "Go ahead," she rasped, voice rough with pain. "End it." A kill would be clean. No risk of her alerting others. No loose ends. And yet, he hesitated. Her wounds told a story. The gash across her shoulder wasn't from a human weapon. It was too jagged, too cruel. The Zelvar had left her behind. Abandoned. Alex muttered a curse under his breath and slung his rifle over his shoulder. "Not today," he said, kneeling beside her. Her brow furrowed. "What are you doing?" "Keeping you from bleeding out," he replied, pulling a field dressing from his pack. She tried to jerk away, but weakness held her down. "I do not need your pity." "Good. Because I don't have any." He pressed the bandage against her wound. She hissed but didn't fight. "I just don't like wasting resources." "Liar." Alex smirked. Even half dead, she had fight. The jungle rustled. He tensed, scanning the shadows. Predators on this moon weren't just the 2-legged kind. The scent of blood would bring worse. "We need to move," he said, securing the last bandage. She coughed, the sound wet and painful. "I will slow you down." "Yeah, well, you'll die if you stay here. And I'd rather not have a pack of stalkers sniffing around while I scavenge." He shifted, slinging her uninjured arm over his shoulder. "Come on, up you go." She stiffened but didn't resist. "Humans are fools," she muttered. "Tell me something I don't know." The trek was slow. The jungle wasn't kind to the wounded, and carrying her weight over uneven terrain was no easy feat. Every step sent a fresh wave of pain through her, but she made no sound. Alex glanced at her, half expecting her to collapse. Instead, her jaw was clenched, eyes sharp, scanning the shadows. Warrior instincts. Even now, she was prepared to fight. After an agonizing hour, he spotted a cave entrance carved into a hillside, hidden by thick foliage. It wasn't ideal, but it was cover. He eased her down against the rock wall and checked her wounds. The bleeding had slowed, but she was pale, shivering. Shock was setting in. He handed her a canteen. "Drink." She hesitated, then took a slow sip. Her eyes flicked up to him, wary. "You are strange for a human." "I get that a lot." Silence stretched between them. The jungle hummed outside, the distant cries of unseen creatures echoing through the valley. Finally, she spoke. "Why? Why what? Why save me?" Alex leaned back, resting his head against the cool stone. He could have given a dozen answers. Tactical advantage. Morality. Stubborn defiance. Instead, he just shrugged. "Because you were still breathing." She studied him for a long moment, then closed her eyes. Alex exhaled, gripping his rifle. The night was long, and the war wasn't over. But for now, survival was enough. The cave was cold, damp, and barely wide enough for 2 people. A faint glow from the bioluminescent fungi outside cast eerie shadows against the jagged walls. Alex Mercer sat near the entrance, rifle across his lap, ears tuned to the distant sounds of the jungle. He had barely slept. Behind him, Karael stirred. She had passed out an hour after they arrived, her body too battered to stay conscious. Now, she shifted against the stone, her breathing uneven. When she finally opened her eyes, they fixed on him, sharp despite her exhaustion. "You're still here," she said, voice hoarse. Alex raised an eyebrow. "Where else would I be? I assumed you'd leave once I lost use to you." "Yeah, well, humans are full of bad decisions." She studied him for a moment before pushing herself upright with a wince. Alex watched but didn't help. She wouldn't want him to. The Zelvar were proud, warriors from birth. She'd rather crawl through fire than accept more weakness. "You need to eat," he said, tossing a ration bar her way. She caught it clumsily, blinking at the wrapper before sniffing it. Her mandibles twitched in distaste. "This smells like processed fuel." "It's worse than that. But it won't kill you." She hesitated, then took a small bite. Her expression soured, but she forced it down. "Disgusting. Not the worst I've had." Karael ate in silence while Alex checked his supplies. They were low. One more day, maybe two, before they'd have to move. He glanced at her wounds, better than yesterday, but she wouldn't last on her own. "How bad?" she asked, noticing his gaze. "Could be worse." "You're not dead." She scoffed. "Not yet." A distant howl echoed through the jungle. Not an animal. Zelvar signal calls. Karael stiffened. They're searching for survivors. Alex adjusted his grip on his rifle. "Think they're looking for you?" She hesitated. "No. If they believed I was still alive, they would have sent a retrieval team." Her expression darkened. "That is not a rescue mission." "Execution squad?" She nodded. Figures. The Zelvar had no patience for failure. If they thought any of their own had survived the battle, it wasn't to welcome them home, it was to silence them. Alex sighed. "Great. So, they'll kill you for getting left behind and me for existing." Karael's mandibles tightened. "You should not have stayed. I am a liability." "Maybe." He leaned back, stretching out his sore legs. "But I'm not in the habit of leaving people to die. Even people who used to shoot at me." Her golden eyes narrowed. "You are either a fool or a madman. Bit of both." She huffed but didn't argue. Outside, the jungle quieted. The signal calls faded. They weren't safe, but for now, they weren't being hunted. Alex shifted his focus. "Your people train you to fight from birth, right?" Karael stiffened. "Yes. Strength determines rank. Failure is unacceptable." "That why they left you?" Her jaw clenched. She didn't answer right away. "Commander Kazol deemed me too injured to be useful," she said finally, voice tight. "He saw no reason to waste resources retrieving me." Alex scoffed. "Hell of a leadership style. It is efficient." "Efficient doesn't mean right." Karael shot him a glare. "We do not value sentiment. The weak are discarded so the strong may thrive." "Yeah. And where did that get you?" She bristled but said nothing. Silence stretched between them. Outside, the jungle buzzed with unseen creatures, their movements rustling through the undergrowth. Alex broke the quiet first. "You ever fought without an army behind you?" She frowned. "What do you mean?" "I mean one-on-one. No reinforcements. No commanders barking orders. Just you and an enemy. No backup." Karael hesitated. "Not in true combat." Alex smirked. "Thought so. You're used to fighting in numbers. That's a crutch, you know." Her mandibles twitched, either from irritation or intrigue. "And you believe yourself superior?" "Not superior. Just different. We don't leave people behind, and we don't throw soldiers away like broken tools. That's the real strength difference between us." Karael stared at him, unreadable. Alex stood, stretching. "Get some rest. We move at dawn." She frowned. "Where?" "North. My people had an extraction point before everything went to hell. If they're still alive, we get a ride off this rock. If not," he shrugged, "we figure something out. You intend to bring me with you? Wouldn't have patched you up if I planned to ditch you." Karail considered that, then exhaled. "You are not what I expected of a Terran soldier." "Yeah, well," Alex smirked, checking his rifle. "I aim to disappoint." As he settled against the rock wall, watching over the cave, he caught Karail staring at him. Not with hostility, but with something close to curiosity. The jungle was alive with movement. Leaves rustled as unseen creatures darted between branches, and the distant howls of nocturnal predators echoed through the valley. Alex Mercer led the way, his rifle at the ready, scanning every shadow for danger. Behind him, Karail moved silently despite her injuries. Her chitinous armor had dulled, the once sharp sheen now marred by dried blood and dirt. Yet her eyes remained sharp, scanning their surroundings with the same wariness he carried. They had been walking for hours, keeping low and avoiding open terrain. Dawn had yet to break, and the darkness made every step a calculated risk. The jungle hid them well, but it also hid their enemies. Alex broke the silence. "If your people were hunting survivors, where would they set up an ambush?" Karail didn't hesitate. "Elevated ground. They would predict stragglers would seek higher terrain for visibility. If I were leading them, I would position snipers along the cliffs to cut off escape routes." Alex cursed under his breath. "Guess which direction we're headed?" Karail's mandibles twitched. "If your extraction point is beyond the valley, we have no choice." He sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "Of course not. Nothing's ever easy." She studied him for a moment before speaking. "If they are there, we must assume they expect standard tactics." Alex nodded. "So we don't give them that. We take the harder path." Karail tilted her head. "Explain." "We go low instead of high. Cut through the marshlands instead of taking the ridges." She frowned. "That terrain is treacherous. Unstable ground. Hunting beasts." "Exactly." He smirked. "They won't expect us to be that stupid." Karail considered this. "A dangerous gamble. Welcome to how humans fight wars." She let out a low hum, something close to amusement. "Very well. Lead the way, Terran." The marsh was worse than expected. Thick mud clung to their boots and claws, slowing progress. Pools of stagnant water concealed unknown creatures, their glowing eyes watching from the murk. The air was humid, heavy with the scent of decay. Alex pushed forward, rifle raised. "If I get eaten by something down here, I'm haunting you." Karail scoffed. "If you are weak enough to be eaten, you deserve it." Comforting. They moved carefully, stepping where the ground held firm. Karail's agility gave her an advantage, even injured. Alex, on the other hand, felt every step threaten to pull him under. Then he heard it. A faint, mechanical click. "Stop." Karail froze. Her eyes darted toward him. "What?" Alex crouched, scanning the ground. There, half buried in the mud, a trip mine. Zelvar design. Pressure triggered. He exhaled. That could have been bad. Karail studied it. They anticipated someone taking this path. Or they're just thorough. He looked ahead, spotting more barely concealed triggers. "We're walking through a damn minefield." Karail narrowed her eyes. "We cannot turn back. The main force will close in from behind. Then we go slow. And careful." Step by step, they moved, eyes locked on the ground. Alex followed Karail's lead, trusting her predatory instincts to spot traps he might miss. Halfway through, a distant roar shattered the silence. Alex tensed. "Tell me that was thunder." Karail's expression hardened. "It was not." Something moved in the water ahead. Then, a shape emerged. It was massive, armored in overlapping plates, its elongated skull lined with rows of needle-like teeth. "Marsh stalker," Karail muttered. "Apex predator." "Fantastic." The beast's eyes locked onto them. Its nostrils flared, tasting their scent. Karail shifted her stance. "It will attack." Alex gritted his teeth. Figures. Then, as if on cue, the creature lunged. Alex fired first, his rifle's burst striking its thick hide. The bullets barely slowed it. Karail moved fast, sidestepping with surprising speed despite her wounds. She drew a blade from her armor, an energy dagger, weak but sharp. The creature struck, jaws snapping where she had been a moment ago. Alex took aim and fired at its exposed flank. The shot hit softer flesh, making it recoil with a shriek. "Go for the eyes," Karail barked. Easier said than done. The thing was fast, its bulk moving through the swamp with terrifying grace. Alex waited for the right moment. When it reared back to lunge again, he took the shot. The bullet tore through its left eye. The creature let out a guttural screech, thrashing wildly. Karail seized the opening. She leapt, blade in hand, and drove it deep into the beast's throat. It convulsed, let out a final gurgling snarl, then collapsed into the marsh, stilling. Breathing hard, Alex lowered his rifle. "Remind me never to take a vacation here." Karail yanked her blade free, wiping the dark ichor off with practiced ease. "You fought well for a human. I'll take that as a compliment." She nodded. Then, her eyes darted to something beyond him. "Move." Alex reacted instantly, diving aside as a plasma bolt scorched the air where he had just stood. Snipers. Karail was already in motion, sprinting toward cover. Alex followed, heart pounding. The Zelvar had found them. A second shot struck a tree, sending a shower of splinters. "North!" Alex shouted. "We make a run for it." Karail didn't argue. The jungle erupted with gunfire. The hunt had begun. The jungle exploded with gunfire. Plasma rounds scorched the air, cutting through branches and foliage as Alex and Karail sprinted for cover. The Zelvar snipers were dug in, elevated, precise, and relentless. Alex dove behind a moss-covered boulder as another bolt seared past his shoulder. His breath came fast, his rifle clutched tight. Across from him, Karail had taken shelter behind a fallen tree, her golden eyes scanning the treetops. "They've got the high ground," Alex called over the gunfire. "We stay here, we're dead." Karail's mandibles tightened. "They will not relent." "Yeah, I got that." He checked his ammo. "Not much left." "How many?" She peeked out, eyes sharp. 3, maybe 4. Moving in a coordinated sweep. Alex cursed. His options were bad and worse. They were pinned, outgunned, and running out of time. Karail shifted beside him. "I can draw their fire." He frowned. "That's a great way to get killed." "I can move faster than you," she countered. "They expect you to fight like a soldier." "I am not." Alex exhaled, thinking fast. She wasn't wrong. The Zelvar expected humans to act with structured tactics, cover fire, flanking maneuvers. They wouldn't anticipate a wounded warrior charging straight into the chaos. "You sure about this?" he asked. Karail's gaze was steady. "I will not die cowering." That was answer enough. Alex adjusted his grip on his rifle. "All right. You move, I shoot." Karail didn't hesitate. With a burst of speed, she darted from cover, zigzagging between trees. The snipers reacted instantly, plasma bolts lighting up the jungle as they tracked her movement. Alex used the distraction. He lined up his shot, found a glint of armor in the trees, and squeezed the trigger. The first sniper dropped without a sound. Karail vaulted over a rock, moving unpredictably. More plasma fire rained down. Alex shifted positions, sighting the second target. He took a breath, adjusted for wind, and fired. The second sniper fell, tumbling from the canopy. Karail reached a new vantage point and turned the tables. She launched her blade, the energy dagger slicing through the air and embedding itself into the third sniper's throat. The last enemy hesitated, just long enough for Alex to fire again. Silence fell over the jungle. The ambush was over. Karail retrieved her blade, wiping it clean. Alex approached, reloading as he went. "Well," he muttered. "That was fun." Karail gave him a look. "You humans have an odd definition of fun." He smirked. "Keeps things interesting." They didn't linger. The Zelvar wouldn't send just one team. Others would be closing in. They moved fast, covering ground in silence. The jungle stretched endlessly, the distant echoes of warships humming in the sky above. Their destination was close now, if the extraction point still existed. After an hour of running, Alex spotted the first sign of human tech, half-buried metal plating, scorched from battle. Then, the glint of something ahead. A downed shuttle. He slowed, scanning the wreckage. Smoke still curled from the engines. The hull was riddled with plasma burns. This had been a brutal fight. Karail knelt beside a fallen Marine, his armor torn open. She touched the insignia on his chest, expression unreadable. Alex exhaled. Looks like they didn't make it. Karail stood, glancing at him. And your extraction? Alex pulled out a battered comm device, switching to emergency frequencies. Static. This is Captain Reynolds, Task Force Echo. Survivors, respond. Alex's heart kicked. He pressed the comm. Reynolds, this is Sergeant Mercer. Got 2 survivors, need immediate evac. Silence. Coordinates. Alex relayed them quickly. Understood, Reynolds said. We're 5 minutes out. Keep your heads down. Alex turned to Karail. We're getting off this rock. She met his gaze, something unreadable in her expression. I was not meant to leave this place. He frowned. What's that supposed to mean? Karail exhaled. I have been cast out. My people will not accept me again. Alex studied her. Then don't go back. She narrowed her eyes. You would have me abandon my kind? They abandoned you first. Her mandibles twitched, but she said nothing. The distant roar of engines broke the silence. The dropship appeared over the tree line, descending fast. Alex turned to her. Last chance. You coming? Karail hesitated. Then, she stepped forward. The ramp lowered. Marines in full armor aimed weapons, tense at the sight of her. Alex raised a hand. She's with me. Reynolds stepped out, eyes sharp. You sure about this, Mercer? Alex glanced at Karail. She met his gaze, steady, unyielding. Yeah, he said. I'm sure. The ramp lifted, sealing them inside. For the first time, Karail was no longer abandoned. And neither was he.